Let's talk about experience because I've got a lot of it. 30 years of working with websites and web based apps. But how useful actually is all that experience in reality? More broadly, how much should we be considering experience when hiring staff or working with a particular agency? Does sector experience matter, for example? We presume that more experience is better, but is that actually true? Experience certainly has its advantages. When you've worked on web projects as long as I have, little surprises you anymore. I've encountered and worked out solutions for all the major related challenges that I'm ever likely to have. I also have enormous experience across a huge range of sectors, from governments and charities to luxury brands and startups. I understand many of the nuances of these sectors, and I can see their challenges and the opportunities that they have and things that a less experienced professional might miss. But I'm not here to blow my own trumpet, because I believe that experience can also carry with it a lot of downsides. For a start, I've met people who have decades of experience and yet still suck at their jobs. Doing something for years doesn't always equate to competence. To succeed in any job, you need more than experience. You need a strong work ethic, a passion for the role, and constantly provide results. And I've encountered many people who've been doing their job for too long and actually don't care anymore. Also, it's easy to become entrenched in certain ways of thinking. You know what works and you stick with it. Unfortunately, the world isn't static, and so what once worked may no longer work as well. I see this from those who have worked in a particular sector for a long time. I might suggest something and they'll reject it because they've tried it before. Of course, that's no guarantee that it wouldn't work today. Not that I'm any better. I've my ways of working that have proved reliable and other techniques that haven't worked for me. And despite knowing that things change, I have a tendency to rely on what has worked in the past and avoid things that haven't. Experience also brings with it complexity. You understand the nuances of the situation, and so you may overcomplicate things and get bogged down in details instead of focusing on the core issues. Baggage like this can make experienced people hard to work with when they're unable to adapt to the approaches used by different teams. If you're hiring, there's something to be said for hiring somebody with potential but not a lot of experience. That way you can shape them to fit your organization. Equally, when hiring an agency or freelancer, asking for somebody with sector experience isn't always the best move. It's useful to have a supplier who understands the sector's challenges, sure, but it reduces the chance of them ending up with a unique solution that sets you apart from your competitors. But let me be clear, I'm not suggesting you should avoid working with people who have experience. I'm just pointing out that it's a two-edged sword. If you're hiring somebody with a lot of experience, you need to make sure they're also flexible, adaptive, and self-aware. Their experience shouldn't be a drawback, but actually an advantage to you. And that's only going to happen if they are flexible, adaptive, and self-aware. As for those of us with lots of experience, we need to nurture that self-awareness. We need to realize that we may be stuck in our ways and not open to giving things a go and seeing what happens. And finally, if you're hearing this and you lack a lot of experience, I'm hoping this will improve an encouragement. Experience isn't everything, and I'd suggest you ignore those years of experience requirements found in job ads. Instead, show your enthusiasm and your commitment. Make those who have more experience than you who've applied look stale, unenthusiastic, and inflexible by comparison.